For whatever reason, I have to start every single Celtics video saying that I'm a Celtics fan. I did it again, so here we are. Celtics acquired Gordon Hayward in the offseason. Of course, that was an awesome signing. But even with that, when I look at this entire team, I don't love the roster. I have some questions, I have some fears, and let's dive into this. Now, first and foremost, yeah, acquiring Gordon Hayward's awesome. He gives you the second real creator on this team next to Isaiah Thomas. And those two together is definitely one of the better offensive pairings in the NBA today. And I do think Hayward in Brad Stevens' system, which has a lot of off-ball movement, yeah, I think the guy could definitely find success sometimes as a cutter, perhaps as a screen setter. Given how much stronger he's gotten, I think he can be used in a lot of different ways offensively, so that's good. And I also think defensively, he's not bad. He's gotten better. Some of that has to do, once again, with how much stronger the guy's gotten over the years. So Gordon Hayward's fine. But immediately, I think about the loss of Avery Bradley, and I made a video about Bradley already saying, yeah, they kind of had to get rid of the guy. Well, not get rid of him, they traded him away for salary reasons. There was no way they were going to be able to re-sign him and Isaiah Thomas, because then they were going to be way in the luxury tax. So I get it. But there's a lot of good NBA point guards in the Eastern Conference. You got Kyrie Irving at the moment. Who knows what's going to happen with him. You have John Wall. You got Kyle Lowry. These are guys you're going to have to go up against in the postseason. And Avery Bradley was great for that because he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA. It also gave Isaiah Thomas a break because he wouldn't have to defend those guys all the time. And so now you're asking Marcus Smart to do that, I would assume. I guess I can segue into this. I have no idea who the starting shooting guard of this team is going to be. I think there are several different options, one of which is Marcus Smart. And defensively, this would make sense because I would say Marcus really isn't that far off from Avery Bradley defensively. He's more physical than he is, and I actually think he can defend more positions than Bradley can just because he's a pretty strong dude. But then the fear comes on the offensive side of the floor because Bradley grew into a really solid offensive player overall. He was good from three. He could hit pull-up mid-range jumpers pretty well. He was a good cutter. And he just was an efficient 15, 16-point scorer. Marcus Smart has been one of the most inefficient players in the NBA since he got to the league. So that's going to be a fear. I mean, yeah, Marcus might give you the defense, but if he's going to cause spacing problems for you on the other end, how much better did you really get even with Gordon Hayward, you know? Now, I've seen some videos of Marcus Smart hoisting up 35-foot jumpers and them going in. I don't really see the point of that. I'm pretty sure you have to be good at 23-foot jumpers, which are three-point shots, in before I got the number wrong. So, I mean, you're going to have to be able to make threes, Marcus, and if you're not going to make them, then that's going to hurt this team offensively, and it's going to hurt the spacing, which in turn hurts what Gordon Hayward can provide for you offensively. But maybe they don't go with Marcus at the 2. Maybe they go with Gordon Hayward at the shooting guard position. And if they do that, then I have to assume that Jay Crowder would be the small forward. Or maybe he wouldn't. Maybe Marcus Morris would be the small forward, and then Jay Crowder would be the power forward, and then Al Horford would be the center. Now, if you go with that lineup, you have more shooting pretty much everywhere, and you have a team that can basically switch among all positions. But do you want to go small the entire season? That's pretty tough to do. I think Jay Crowder is definitely qualified to play the small ball 4. He's done it in the past, and he's done it well. But for an entire season, that's pretty tough to do. You're also opening yourself up to giving up a lot of rebounds, offensive rebounds, I should say, with that lineup, because Al Horford is still Al Horford. But at the same time, from an offensive standpoint, that team could be really difficult to defend because everybody could shoot. Between Isaiah, Gordon Hayward, as well as Al Horford, you got 3 ball handlers who can make plays. Horford being a playmaker at the center position was awesome for them this previous year. So that's definitely a versatile lineup, but I don't know how long that one can really go just because of it's not that big of a team. So then maybe you go with Gordon Hayward at the 2, Jay Crowder at the 3, Al Horford at the 4, and then Aaron Baines at the 5. Now, if you do that one, I guess your rebounding fear is hopefully fixed because Aaron Baines is like a physical dude who can focus on getting rebounds and stuff. But you really want to put Al Horford at the power forward position? I don't think he's fast enough to defend a lot of NBA power forwards today. I think as a center, Horford has a lot of mobility and he's quick enough to where, like, when he's around the rim, he can be a really good defender. If you put him at the power forward spot and he's going up against, I don't even know who, I can't think of a name at the moment, but just with how many quicker power forwards we have in the NBA today, I think he's too slow to do that. So, I mean, maybe you'd have to figure something out defensively where he ends up defending someone else, but like, I don't know, I just don't love the idea of Al Horford defending on the perimeter. I want him around the free throw line. But maybe you do it because Aaron Baines can grab rebounds. So basically, I've provided a whole bunch of different options for their starting lineup, and I have no frickin' clue which one they're going to go with. Gut feeling, I think their best lineup would probably be Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, Gordon Hayward, Jay Crowder, Al Horford, because I think with only one non-shooter and an offense like Brad Stevens with a whole bunch of guys who can make plays, you can make it work with Marcus Smart playing a lot of minutes. Also, you could put the ball in Marcus Smart's hand because he's grown into at least an okay playmaker. He averaged around 4.5 assists a game this previous season. He was over 2 turnovers though, so he's not perfect, but that's like kind of a thing you can do. I think they could figure it out, but then like if you have Marcus Smart and Aaron Baines in the game, spacing could be a nightmare. So we're just going to have to see with that one. I kind of believe that Stevens is just going to have a whole bunch of different lineups that he can throw out there at any time where Marcus Smart can play the 2, Hayward can play the 2, Jay Crowder can play the 3, Marcus Morris can play the 3, Jaylen Brown can play the 3. You have like 4 different small ball, 4 options. This is kind of the deal they're going with. And as creative as all that is, I do still have some fears about, rebounding, Marcus Smart can't shoot, whatever the hell I said in this entire video. I think there can also be some fears of like how much shooting are they going to have off the bench. If Marcus Morris is on the second unit, then I think he's the one guy who I would expect to be a shooter. Besides that, I mean, Jaylen Brown, he was actually pretty okay on his threes his rookie year, but larger sample size, we'll have to see. He hasn't been a consistent three-point shooter over a number of seasons in the NBA, and he was never known as a shooter coming into the NBA, so we're just going to have to see on that one. There really still isn't a real backup shooting guard on this team. Terry Rozier kind of can do it, but whatever. I don't know. I have some questions, definitely. Do I think they're going to be better? Ultimately, sure. I think being super versatile and having Gordon Hayward will probably lead to some more victories. Do I think they gained a lot of ground on the Cavs? No, not really. Maybe they won't get blown out in 5 games. Maybe they'll push them to a respectable 6 games, but of course the Kyrie Irving trade has yet to happen, and who knows if it will, but whatever. Ultimately, I think they got a bit better, but I'm still concerned with the team overall, and I definitely do not believe that they are a title contender or even an NBA Finals contender just yet.